Hi, my name is Rakesh Singh and I welcome you on this jQuery video session. Thank you so much for joining Naresh IT Technologies video session. In this today video session, we are going to discuss about one of the most important part of the jQuery related to jQuery selector itself is nothing but jQuery Attribute Value Selector. In a previous video session, we have discussed about jQuery Attribute Selector. Now we are going to continue the Attribute Selector with their value. Means how to select the element with the specified attribute as well as their value. The value may be exact equal or maybe not equal. So we have different variation while working with the attribute selector along with their value. So today topic is jQuery video selector attribute selector part 1. So how we'll do that? So in this video session, we will discuss about three most important aspects. One is what? Attribute equal selector. Means what? If you specify one attribute like attribute name, any attribute name, it could be title, it could be ID, it could be name itself, it could be alt, any of the element of the HTML element. In a square bracket, the name of attribute equals to, in a double quotation or single quotation, their value. Means select the elements that have the specified attribute with a value exactly equal to a certain value what we have specified. And the second one is attribute not equal selector. Means select the elements that either do not have the specified attribute or do have the specified attribute but not with a certain value. So that how to mention in a square bracket attribute name is not equals to, in double quotation mark, value. Either this attribute should not be available, or if this attribute is available, then their value should not equal to this specified value. Then the element is get selected. And the third one, attribute contains selector, means the specified attribute what having the value, if the value anywhere is contained, either in the beginning content, either in the end position content, either in the middle position content, anywhere in that attribute value, if the specified value is contained, the element is selected. Means selects elements that have the specified attribute which is mentioned here, attribute name, that attribute should be there with a value, what value we have specified here, containing a given substring. So what value we have specified here, this value anywhere contained in that element attribute value, doesn't matter either beginning, either in the end, either in the middle position, that element gets selected. So in this video, we are going to discuss these three important aspect of the jQuery attribute value selector, the name called attribute equal selector, attribute not equal selector, attribute contains selector. So the next thing, here I have something to show you practically how it is going to use. Suppose if we have a requirement of selects all elements that have title attribute. Title is one attribute of the HTML element, and why I am using the title attribute, because it is one of the common attribute, can be used by any of the HTML element, not to the only one specific HTML element. Like suppose somebody working with the SRC attribute, but SRC attribute is not belong to all HTML element, it is belong to only IMG. So in order to make you to understand very clearly and easily, I am using one of the most commonly used attribute among all HTML document element, the name called title. So what requirement is, select all elements that have title attribute value equal to Naresh IT. Right, means the element to be selected which has attribute title, their value must match with the Naresh IT, exactly same. Those elements will be selected. Second one is what? Select all elements that have title attribute value not equal to Naresh IT. means that element which has attribute title but value is not matched with what Naresh IT, value may be something else. So it looks for only those element which doesn't have the value with what Naresh IT for the title attribute. So how will you use $of in a square bracket title is not equal to operator, and in that quotation mark what is that, value Naresh IT. So whichever element attribute title doesn't have the value Naresh IT, that element will be selected. Next one is select all elements that have title attribute value containing the given string jQuery. Means that element having the title attribute with their value, suppose value is Naresh IT jQuery video session. So in the complete value, right, if the value match with a specified jQuery, it means that element is selected. Means it looks for only those element which uses attribute title and their value is there, and in the value if the value jQuery anywhere is containing, either in a starting, either in what ending, either in middle, that element is going to select it. So on this example we are going to perform some kind of operation like any applying the CSS operation, applying some effect, applying some animations, any operation you can perform. I am using the here one operation, that is what, applying the CSS operation at runtime. So what my example is going to do here, selects all elements that have the title attribute value equal to Naresh IT and set CSS property called border with a 5 pixel solid and red. But which element? All elements that have the what attribute title, that their value must match with the what is it, Naresh IT. Only those elements sets with the border 5 pixel solid red. So how I am using here, $of title equals to Naresh IT dot CSS of border. Border is a property and their value what is it, 5 pixel solid what is it, red. So let's see how to implement this one. So for this, going to Visual Studio where I have the one website project, or you can have HTML website project, any website project, right. In the website project I have one HTML document, the name called HTML page.html, and in this page document I have some HTML element which is defined in the what is it, body section, like I have the div with the ID something, title is available and title value what I have is specified over here, Naresh IT. Remember is a case sensitive while working with the jQuery attribute value selector, and some content is available, a line break, another div element with some title, one more paragraph element with the some title. For all the element I have given title with the value what, Naresh IT, Naresh IT, Naresh IT. And in the my head section I have the script, jQuery script file is referenced, one more script in which we are going to make sure that once the document is ready then only some operation to be performed. So what requirement is here, selects all the elements with the title attribute value equal to Naresh IT and sets 5 pixel solid red border by using the CSS method. So you will be writing here jQuery selector function $of in quotation mark, right, square bracket attribute what is it, title equals to value. If already double quotes here we have been used, so value must be placed into a single quote. If it is initially we have put single quote, so inside must be put into what is it, double quotes. That thing you have to remember that. So here single quote, what is it, Naresh IT, right. So what I am writing here, which element, not a specific element, because I have not mentioned in my select expression any element, it means which elements, all elements which have what attribute, title attribute, with what value, exactly equal to value what, Naresh IT, that element gets selected. On that what to set, CSS, which CSS, border property CSS, right. What value of the border, 5 pixel thickness, solid this style and color what, red, that's it. So before I run this page, if you look at this body section, in this what are the elements are available, right. We have the one div element, so here not mention any element, So body is also one element, head is also one element, script is also one element, title is also one element. But which element in the HTML document right now using the title attribute? So if you look at from top to bottom, right, there are few elements which has the what attribute, title attribute, right? One more element title and the one more element title. So according to current HTML document what I am using in this HTML document page, there are three elements is present with the what attribute title, and their value is what Naresh IT, Naresh IT, Naresh IT. So this is also here what mentioned Naresh IT. So based upon this jQuery selector expression, there are three elements to be selected, and on that CSS method to be applied with the border 5 pixels solid red. So this is what called as is nothing but this one, right? Select all elements that have the title attribute value equal to Naresh IT and set 5 pixels solid red. This is belong to what? This is belong to nothing but attribute equal selector. This is the first one, attribute equal selector, means attribute value must match with the specified value, must be equal, exactly same. So this is the first one, attribute equal selector. So for this we are implementing this example. So for that what we are going to do that, now save this page and run this page. So whenever run this page, right, it is going to launch the browser, and in this you can observe that what is coming. This is the first div element with the red color border, second div element also with the red color border, and the third element also with what red color border. So all three elements are now selected and applied with what is it CSS with the what red color. Now if you look at to the next one, that is what selects all div elements that have title attribute, right, not equal to Naresh IT, means the elements should be div elements here mentioned. Here all elements, no specified which elements, means every elements. Here specify all only which element, div elements, fine, with what attribute title, but their value should not equal to Naresh IT, means only those elements is going to select which uses the title attribute and their value is not matched with the what Naresh IT. Those elements are going to be filtered, and on that element set the what 5 pixels solid red border. To implement this example, what I do here, I am coming to my Visual Studio development environment. Here suppose I am having the one div, right, I have written Naresh IT jQuery video session. So the second div element with the ID div2, right, another attribute title. This title has what value? Not only Naresh IT, it has title Naresh IT jQuery video session, right, and this is the paragraph Naresh IT. Now here I am writing select all div elements, means what $of div first, and that div element should have what attribute title, fine, and their value should not equal to, is not equal to operator, is not equal to which value Naresh IT. On that element select the word CSS. So if you before run this page, if you look at the HTML document, do we have the first element div? Yes. So matching, here I am selecting the all div, so here one div is found. Now this div must have what attribute title, ID is there, right, title attribute is there, yes, it is a found, is not equal to Naresh IT. But here what is the mention? Naresh IT. But what is the mention here? Not equal to Naresh IT. So this element is not matching according to this select expression, because here I am saying that not equal to Naresh IT, but here what is the mention? Naresh IT is mentioned. So this element is not going to select. Now second element, do we have this element of type of div? Yes. Has attribute title? Yes, it is available. Here title is not equal to Naresh IT, right, but here what is the mention? Naresh IT jQuery video session. Yes, this title is not equal to Naresh IT. Yes, this is not equal to Naresh IT, because here not only Naresh IT, it is what mentioned Naresh IT jQuery video session. So this element must be what is it selected. Now the third element, it is a what paragraph, but here what is the mention? Div. So this element not going to select. So in previous example all elements, which all elements? It may be paragraph, it may be div, it may be span, it may be some other element, but in this it is mentioned select all only div elements. That's what here what is the mention? $of div, that must have what attribute? Title. But title value here what is mentioned Naresh IT should not be equivalent to. So this is the equal, not going to select. This is not equal, select. This is the no meaning of select because this is the element of what type? Paragraph. So according to this HTML document, how many element must be selected? Only one element to be selected, right? And on this one element, what to be applied? Nothing but your CSS method to be applied. So just save this page and come to the your HTML browser where HTML document already loaded. Just refresh this page. So here click in the address bar and press enter to refresh. So once the page gets refreshed, you can observe that what is coming? This is second div element. Only that is getting selected. Remaining the first element and the third element is not getting selected. So only one element. Why? Because only one element is there which is not have Naresh IT. It has Naresh IT jQuery video session. Which is nothing but not equal to Naresh IT, not equal to the specified value. Now we are going to the third one, is nothing but attribute content selector. Means the attribute with value not equal, right? Not exactly equal or is not equal. It should be containing anywhere. So here I am saying that equal selector. Here I am saying what? Not equal selector. Now third one what? Content selector. Means here whatever value is specified, if this value contained anywhere in that element attribute value, either in beginning, either in the end position, either in middle position, that element is going to select it. Here I am saying select only those elements which attribute equal to this value. Here I am select only those elements which attribute not equal to the specified value. Here I am saying select those elements which attribute contain value anywhere. That element to be selected. So for this one you are using select all elements that have title attribute value containing the given substring what? jQuery. Means in the element attribute value wherever jQuery is defined, that element must be filtered out. So for this my example is what? Right, select all elements that have title attribute value containing the given substring jQuery and sets the border, CSS border 5 pixel solid what? Red border. So for this we are going to come to this place. What expression we have to use? Earlier we use equal, then we have used what? Not equal. For third one what to use for containing? Right, star equal. This is the operator. For first one only use what? Equal. Right, that is attribute equal selector. Second one is what? Attribute not equal selector. So further what we have is operator is not equal to. Now we have third one what? Attribute containing selector. Then we have to use what? Star equals to. So how will use that? Here I am going to use star equals to, and I am saying what? jQuery, and it is for not all div elements, all elements, doesn't matter they are div element or p element, anyone. So I just remove this div, it means all elements. If you mention div, then only all div elements. I don't mention, it means all HTML document elements which has what? Attribute? Title attribute. This title attribute containing the one word, the name is jQuery in their value. So if you look at the first one, this is the one element, it has title, yes. What is the value here mentioned? Naresh IT. So in this value what mentioned to HTML document element, do we have anywhere jQuery? Not there. So this is not going to match. We have second element div title Naresh IT jQuery video session. So this is the complete value. In this complete value in my jQuery code, what specified value with this attribute, it is matching anywhere? Yes, it is matching here. It means this element is going to select it. We have the third one paragraph. It has only what? Title Naresh IT. Suppose I am giving the what? Naresh IT jQuery video session by Rakesh. So this also has one title. It has what? Well, Naresh IT jQuery video session by Rakesh. So in this complete value, do we have any word which match with the jQuery? Yes, it is one word match with the jQuery. It means that this element and this paragraph element, these two elements are going to be selected as per this HTML document what we have right now in our example. And on that it's going to set what is it, CSS method. This is my action method, I can say. This is my operation, I can say, to apply with what, border with the 5 pixel solid what, red. So now just save it and come to the browser and just refresh the page. So we are expected what is that, this element and this element must be selected and applied with what, red color border. So refresh that, you can see that this is the second div element selected with the red border, and this is the first paragraph element selected with the red border. So this is all about what is that, jQuery attribute value selector part 1 video, in which we have discussed 3 important aspects of this topic. The number 1, how to select attribute value which match with the equal to the specified value, that is called what, attribute equal selector. And the second one, we have discussed how to select the element with a specified attribute which is not equal to certain value, is nothing but attribute not equal selector. And the third one is attribute containing selector, nothing but contain selector, means select all the elements with a specified attribute which contain a certain value anywhere in the element attribute value. So this is the complete discussion about the jQuery attribute value selector part 1. Thanks for watching the jQuery video session. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.